Streaming 24/7 on the News 8 Plus app. You're watching News 8 Now at 6.
Yeah, we're going to start with weather right now that we got going on. Currently today we had temperatures back in the 80s. We had a lot of cloud cover southern areas. But further north you want less in the way of humidity too, so it was more comfortable in some areas. Unfortunately, further south you went, it wasn't as much. So overall, you look outside right now, we still got the cloud cover lingering in La Crosse, less in Eau Claire, and Winona too has some high cloud cover currently, but still all in the 80s with some light winds. There's your dew points, and yes, we've seen it continue to fall at La Crosse. We're down to 67. We still got a few 70s towards Prairie du Chien. Further north you go, they've had very comfortable low 60 dew points. You see a few showers north of east of Ladysmith should stay around Rusk County, and there's more activity as further southwest, and Iowa should stay out of the picture too. So if you're going to Country Boom here, that's your conditions right there. Going to be just a few clouds out there, getting back down to calm conditions, really light winds and very comfortable humidity wise. And for Eau Claire, pretty much the same type of conditions too, getting back to 78, light winds, very low relative humidity, really a perfect night for about the middle of July. Unfortunately, we do have more 90-degree heat on the way, so we'll break down what it looks like next week and how long this dry stretch may last coming up a bit later.
Hey, looks good. And thanks for starting us off tonight, Greg. Appreciate it. All right, a developing story in Stoddard. A collision on Highway 35 led to a partial closure between Country Road K and Highway 162. Photos sent in by viewers show significant damage to the vehicles, with emergency crews on the scene. Officials have not yet released information on any injuries. 3 adults in Rusk County found dead from gunshot wounds Thursday evening. Rusk County Sheriff's deputies discovered the bodies while responding to a welfare check at a home in the township of Hawkins. Investigators believe the incident was a double homicide followed by a suicide. Names have not yet been released at this time. Benjamin Thorson, the man accused of hiding the body of 45-year-old Julia Heedham in 2023, entered a not guilty plea today and was bound over for trial. The 45-year-old appeared in La Crosse County Court via phone from federal prison in West Virginia. Thorson faces a felony charge of hiding Heedham's corpse, who was discovered near the Bud Hendrickson Trail. A developing story in Winona County. The NTSB is investigating a small plane crash in Lewiston. A 62-year-old pilot was attempting an emergency landing near Winona County Road 33 and Road 6 after experiencing engine problems. He was taken to the hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. Mayo Clinic Health System in Eau Claire is getting some national recognition. Newsweek ranking the hospital among the best in the country in all 7 specialties evaluated, and named it Wisconsin's top hospital in 5 of them, including cancer, cardiac, and orthopedic care. It's also the only community hospital in the top 50 nationally for cancer care.
We're obviously incredibly proud and grateful for this recognition because it really reflects the expertise and teamwork and dedication of our entire staff every day.
Earlier this year, Newsweek also ranked Mayo Clinic in La Crosse 214th on its list of best U.S. hospitals. Well, the 54th annual Catfish Days is back this weekend in Trempealeau. Fishermen can compete for prizes for biggest catfish length and biggest stringer of up to 10 fish. The top catch takes home a $2,000 cash prize. Catfish Days runs through Sunday with live music, a car show, golf tournament, and the Grand Parade Sunday afternoon. Country Boom continues tonight in West Salem. Blake Witten takes the stage at 7, followed by Flo Rida at 8:30. Fireworks light up the sky at 10:10 p.m. and Tyler Hubbard closes out the night at 10:15. Free shuttles run from local high schools and Valley View Mall starting at 3. Downtown Winona is drawing a crowd this weekend for Crazy Days. It's an annual sidewalk sale featuring deals from local businesses across the district. The 2-day event runs today and tomorrow during business hours, with participating shops offering special discounts and promotions.
We've had good traffic coming through for Crazy Days, yeah. Got some special just to get people in and let them realize what we have to offer. And it's working so far.
21 downtown businesses are participating this year. A full list of locations is available on our website. Well, the excitement returns to Beaver Creek as the Creekside Concert Series continues tonight. All are welcome to enjoy free live music from 6 to 8 p.m. with food and refreshments. This event is in downtown Sparta, hosted by the Shovelmen.
We offer the concessions to a nonprofit in the community at no charge, so they can do their thing for their groups. And it's really all about raising up the community and having a nice time on a Friday afternoon.
And if you can't get your dancing shoes on tonight, 3 more shows will take place with the closing performance happening on August 21st. Well, music raffles and free resources for the Hispanic community are being offered at the Sparta Welcome Center tonight. Centro Latino and several local businesses are hosting the free event on Milwaukee Street. Attendees can connect with organizations covering health, financial services, education, insurance, and immigration support.
Our group offers resources to immigrants, whether they're new in town, whether they're established here, whether they've just arrived. And we just offer resources. Whatever they need, we find a way for them to help them find it in La Crosse or the surrounding areas.
The event is open to everyone and opens until 7 p.m. And it's duckling season in La Crescent and everywhere else these days. A family of ducks is back together thanks to a quick response from local police and public works. Officers with the La Crescent Police Department held Mama Duck in place while public works employees climbed into a storm drain to pull out her ducklings. All the babies made it out safely. Still to come, Plattner officially withdraws, what Maine Democrats are doing to find a replacement. And ceasefire now over, what President Trump says about continuing talks with Iran.
Monday on News 8 Now this morning, the latest on the war with Iran and a local nonprofit giving away Packers tickets and doubling your donation. They join us live. Plus, Nicole has a look at your work week forecast.
Developing news, Graham Plattner formally announcing he's withdrawing from the Maine Senate race following sexual assault allegations he denies. The state party plans to hold a nominating convention before a July 27th deadline, with roughly 600 delegates expected to select the replacement candidate. This morning, President Trump said he has agreed to continue peace negotiations at Iran's request, but he says the ceasefire with the country is over. Nano Centeo Bonzo has the latest from the White House.
On social media Friday, President Trump said the U.S. agreed to a request from Iran to continue talks over a potential peace deal, while adding, quote, "In no uncertain terms, the ceasefire is over." Sources confirmed to CBS News that Vice President J.D. Vance, as well as Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and the president's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, have been speaking with Qatari mediators in efforts to revive the truce with Iran.
Both sides do have an interest in not returning to the level of intensity that we saw in March and April. The United States has an interest in keeping traffic flowing through the Strait of Hormuz. The Iranians also need revenue, so they need to be selling the oil that comes through the Strait of Hormuz.
Iran targeted key U.S. allies in the Gulf this week, as the U.S. says it hit more than 170 Iranian military targets along the Strait of Hormuz in efforts to weaken Iran's grip on the vital oil trade route.
Amid concerns that the two nations could return to full-blown hostilities, the Wall Street Journal is reporting that Israel shared intelligence with the U.S. on a new Iranian plot to kill President Trump.
Sources tell CBS News that the Secret Service recommended that President Trump leave the NATO summit in Turkey Wednesday on the old Air Force One rather than the new jet, which was a gift from Qatar.
This is an aircraft that was spec'd out and prioritized for luxury, not safety.
U.S. officials told CBS News that the new plane was rushed into service and lacked some desired security capabilities. Nana Cintio Bonsu, CBS News.
Some lawmakers in Texas are calling for immigration and customs enforcement to reconsider the policy of using unmarked cars. This follows Tuesday's deadly shooting of a Mexican man in Houston by ICE agents. The Department of Homeland Security said Thursday that officers were looking for a different individual when they shot and killed Lorenzo Salgado Aroja.
I know that if I'm followed by a black SUV and I don't know who it is, I too would be scared, and I too probably would not have stopped.
A statement from the agency said Salgado Aroja was shot after ignoring multiple verbal commands and attempting to run over an officer who fired his gun in self-defense. We'll have more news ahead, but first.
Yeah, we're going to start a dry stretch that extends all the way potentially to next weekend, and that involves a lot of 90-degree weather coming up. So we'll break all that down coming up on your First Warn weather update after the break. Yeah, and all in all, it was a pretty nice day for about getting closer to the middle of July. You would expect temps around the mid-80s. We did have dew points in the 70s, so it was muggy if you were south of I-90. Those are starting to come back down. If you were north of I-90, especially going away from the river, it actually was in the low 60s and very comfortable dew points for the middle of July. It's really hard to get these dew points to fall much into the 60s, especially where you have a lot of rain. We've had a lot of rain in some areas and all the greenage vegetation that's out in July. It does take some time to do that, and we don't have typically the wind of the northwest to really get some of that cooler air to the north. But overall, big picture, you show already the heat beginning to build out west. Triple digits already Utah, Nevada, now going all the way up into the eastern Montana and Dakotas. That's really going to be kind of where the center of this heat dome is going to probably push up to the northern plains. So they're already starting to see it, and it's just a matter of things to come. Really, this heat dome is building out of the southwest. It'll lift to the north as the jet stream goes well into Canada. Then it's pretty typical this time of year to see that happen. Then the heat dome, you can see the color get really bright here just in North Dakota into the basically southern Canada. The good thing with this is really the center of this heat dome is going to stay right to our west. By the time we get to Tuesday, Wednesday, you start seeing it kind of bend a little, stretched out as the jet starts taking more of a northwest flow up to our north. And then as we go towards the end of next week, you'll start seeing it kind of tail back and push back the center of the high back to the west, which allows then the flow to come out of the northwest more towards Friday and the weekend. That opens the door for systems to come through, and we'll get more precipitation chances going into Friday and maybe the weekend too. And these are thunderstorm complexes, so the timing can be kind of off and on. But it will bring a little bit of cooler conditions towards next week as the center of that high pushes back to the west. And we'll kind of repeat that all summer long. There's all your heat headlines. A lot of extreme heat all the way up to the Dakotas. They're expecting several days of 100 plus, even 110 plus they could get up to there with the type of heat that's going to be going on. Now, dew points, this is what we saw at the end of June going into about the 3rd of July. Very oppressive tropical type humidity levels. Dew points were in the mid-70s. The good news with going forward to next week, we're not going to be this high. That's positive, so our heat indices won't be as bad. We're just looking at dew points really to start coming up probably Sunday into maybe the muggy stage. We're looking at maybe 70 in some areas, and then it comes back down once we get past Wednesday as a cold front kind of sits just to our north. A little bit of drier air, so really the dew points will be kind of in the 60s, which is not terrible for the end of the week. That's the good news. Now, what does that relate to heat index values? Well, it's definitely not going to be what we saw last time either. As you can see, there's Monday, Tuesday for La Crosse, really in the mid-90s. We may get up to the upper 90s, but I highly doubt that. And then Wednesday, it comes right back down. Eau Claire, pretty similar. They might get a little bit higher because their temperature is going to get higher for a few days. But notice a trend, too. It kind of starts coming back down. Once we get to Wednesday, we'll have the flow turn around, our dew points fall, heat intensity values won't be much different than actual apparent temperatures. And remember last time we had the values approaching 110. So once again, the big message is it's going to be kind of hot next week, but nothing like we saw prior. In the meantime, we still got cloud cover and some precipitation to the southwest. We got a front to the north that's going to stay there. So we have cloud cover out there, still some moisture. We might have some overnight fog if you're near water sources. Once again, that could be a situation where you have morning fog or low clouds. They'll burn off quickly, and then we'll get back into the mid, potentially upper 80s. Dew points still comfortably will be in the 60s, so we won't have much of a humidity out there quite yet. And even Sunday, our temperatures come up. I think the dew points will start to rise towards the late afternoon and evening. Overall, a few 90s potentially, but still nothing terrible yet. We'll start feeling that probably on Monday. Once again, Monday, Tuesday is really the apex of this heat dome that's going to be at least closest to us. Beyond that, we'll start kind of tailing off a little bit towards the end of the week, and it does open the door up for more rain chances for some areas, maybe Thursday, other areas maybe Friday into Saturday. Once we get closer to that, expect those chances to come up. But by 86 on Saturday, that's probably right where we should be. So It's going to be hot, but once again, if you compare it to last June, it's, not last June. Last week of June, it's nothing even close.
Okay, well, this looks like a nice change. Yep. All right, coming up next in sports, a familiar arm is making a return to the Brewers. Plus, Jordan Love making his appearance on the NFL's top 100 players list. See where the Packers quarterback landed. Kate is in next with sports.
Covering all the exciting action from your community. Here's News 8 Now Sports.
Later this month, the Green Bay Packers open training camp, and before you know it, the 2026 NFL season will be here. And as we head into the season, the NFL is releasing their annual top 100 players list and raised some eyebrows in Green Bay. Quarterback Jordan Love came in at just number 72 on the list. Packers fans lit up social media, and Packers pass rusher Micah Parsons even weighed in, saying there are not 71 players better than Love. For context, Love was ranked number 34 entering the 2024 season. Last year, he completed 66.3% of his passes, threw 23 touchdowns to just 6 interceptions, and posted a 101.2 passer rating, a career best that ranked 6th in the NFL in 2025, while his QBR ranked 3rd. Now, maybe Love is a little underrated, but let's be honest, these rankings don't decide anything. What matters is what comes next and whether Jordan Love can keep taking steps forward as the Packers quarterback. Green Bay opens the regular season on the road against the Vikings Sunday, September 13th. And the Brewers are bringing back a familiar arm. Milwaukee signed right-hander Bryce Wilson to a 1-year Major League deal earlier this afternoon. Wilson was most recently with the Cubs organization, where he made just 3 big league appearances this year, struggling in all 3. But the Brewers know him well. He pitched in 87 games for Milwaukee from 2023 to 24, posting a 3.42 ERA. His best run came in 2023 when he went 6-0 with a 2.58 ERA out of the bullpen. Now we'll see if the Brewers pitching lab can resurrect Wilson's major league career and help him return to the form he was a few years ago. Speaking of the Brewers, after taking 4 out of 5 in St. Louis, Milwaukee's road trip continues as they will close out the first half of the season in Pittsburgh. Milwaukee currently has a 7-game lead over the Cubs in the division, while the Pirates are 12.5 games back. Brandon Sproat on the mound tonight for Game 1. And if you want to tune into a game this weekend, you got to watch Sunday's game. Jacob Misiorowski going head-to-head with Paul Skeens, 2 of the most electric pitchers in baseball, taking them out. Again, that one is on Sunday. Tonight's game, currently in a rain delay, but I'll have an update of it tonight at 10. Round 2 of the Scottish Open. Some crazy golf news coming out of this one. Scottie Scheffler shooting a 72 on the day, and with that, Scheffler has missed the cut of a PGA tournament for the first time since August of 2022. That was 78 events over almost 4 years. Another big name, Rory McIlroy, had a big day. He shot 66, finished at 9 under par. He is a part of a 3-way tie for first going into day 3. That's all for sports. We'll be right back.
All right, we have a little bit of fog potential tonight, especially near water sources, given the moisture still there. It will be dry and warmer this weekend, and dew points in the 60s, so all in all, not too bad. We do get hot and humid Monday and Tuesday before we'll start seeing some changes towards the second half of next week, and rain potentially coming in Thursday or Friday or Saturday, but at this point, it's still quite low. But once again, it's compared to last week of June, I think we can manage this one.
It's a nice summer week. Wear your tank tops, everyone.
Yes, get outside.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for joining us at 6. We'll see you right back here at 10.